if you're watching this video right now, that means I'm currently either on my way to a mission trip or already there doing some work. So today, I'm going to rank all 6 Loki episodes, because if I do it next week, that'll be way too late. Here we go. Hello everybody, my name is ZachMovieChat, and I love movies and TV shows. The MCU, hands down, one of the best, and they've been making pretty good TV shows. WandaVision, Falcon the Winter Soldier. Falcon the Winter Soldier was great. I mean, and so was Loki. Loki was also great. That's the show I'm talking about here. I'm going to rank all 6 of the Loki episodes from my baddest to my raddest. But before I do that, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, comment down below. What is your ranking of all 6 Loki episodes? This is just my thoughts. I'm pretty sure that the Loki episodes are going to be kind of diverse in your opinions. So I want to know what yours are. This, again, is just my opinions. Don't get mad when I say my opinions, because this is just my personal thoughts. I want to know yours down below. And while you're doing that, subscribe to the like button, hit the bell. And yes, by the way, if you're watching this, I'm either on my way or already there on a mission trip, which means you're not going to get any more videos from the week. This is probably my last video you will get for a week. And sorry to say that, but last video you guys are going to get for a week. So, last ZachMovieChat video. Alright, so let's make this a good one. With that said, here we go into the ranking. Kicking off with number 6 is surprisingly going to be episode 5, Journey into Mystery. Now, this episode's kicked off with so much great potential and so much just amazing stuff thrown into here. The whole thing with the whole lot of Lokis, when they did their thing, their battle, that was awesome. I was laughing the entire time. But the big problem here is, as we go into the second half, it just kind of made me not care about what's going to happen in the whole second half of this episode. Obviously, they're gonna enchant them and find out what's gonna happen, because there's this whole one episode left. So I just really couldn't care what was gonna happen with these beasts. There are obviously great moments, like that battle and like all the Lokis together. That is just ridiculous. I had a fun time, but in the end, it just still kind of feels like an episode that is trying to make you guys feel like you're really into the romance between Sylvie and Loki, when really you're not. It's a huge Sweet Home Alabama moment, and that's one of my biggest problems with the show, is that it turns into a romance, and this episode just tries to fix that, and as it does its job a little bit, this is easily the weakest episode by a long shot. Kicking off in number 5 is going to be episode 3, Lamentis. Now, I don't personally have any personal problems with this episode. It's the fact that I was sick while watching it. So, due to me being sick, it's kind of just a personal thing where, like, I couldn't really pay attention. I never had time to rewatch it. So, it's not because I hated this episode. There's a lot of great things in this episode. This train sequence was awesome. There's a lot of stunning things. Their interactions with each other, great. It's just my setting where I was. Now, let's start breaking down the episode. The train sequence, obviously amazing. Even though I didn't really care about Loki and Sylvie talking about love, and it ended out where I thought it was going to end out. But the train sequence, the action was awesome. The characters were awesome. I really liked the focus of the story. And this is where I started really, like, so the first episode, kind of like this intriguing mystery. Second episode, kind of like an action episode. This episode, like, they're all very divergent from each other, and that's really entertaining. I really enjoyed that. There's just a lot of great things here. I can't really go wrong with the episode. It's way low on this list, though, because I really couldn't just focus on the episode because I was sick. So, more of a personal thing. Alright, kicking it off with the number 4 is going to be episode 2. Now, originally, in this spot, it's episode 1, but the more I thought about it, I enjoyed episode 1 more than I enjoyed episode 2. And this is when I started realizing my biggest problem with the shows. The fact that the shows, it takes a while, each episode, for us to get invested in the story. Same thing with movies. Maybe this is just a personal problem, but, like, with movies, it takes a while for me to get invested into the episodes. So, like, it's a good 20 minutes out of the hour episode for me to start getting invested in the story. And this is where I started to realize that. But after those 20 minutes, when I started getting invested into the story, I thought it was great. It was like a nice, intriguing little mystery where Loki's trying to figure out where other Loki is. We figured out other Loki was Sylvie. At the end of this episode, the action sequence was pretty cool. It reminded me of something, honestly, that I would do. Where I just, like, if I was ever making movies, I was like, they could shift in other people. But it wasn't, like, overused. Like, I would have totally overused it. So it makes a nice way of giving Sylvie an overpowered thing. But then it kind of tones down, and she doesn't use it all the time. And that's really good. It just has a nice story. I really enjoyed this episode. Loki, that's when Loki has his interactions with everyone on the screen. Hands down, amazing. But the thing is, the episode takes a while to kick off, and this is when I start realizing my problem. So it took a while for me to get into the episode, but when I got into the episode, this was hands down a great episode. Now we're kicking things off with number 3, episode 1. Again, like I said, this was going to be before episode 2, because I enjoyed episode 2 so much, but I had that big problem with it, so I have to put episode 1 in the top 3. Now, this is a really great introduction to this show. It shows us what this TVA is. I really was intrigued to see what the TVA was. It showed us it was the greatest power in the universe by having the Infinity Stones as paperweights. That scene was just great. It does have little weird things, like the music takes a while to get me used to it. Like, the music in this episode was kind of like, you know, just weird and feels weird, but I enjoyed it. There's some problems, but Loki and his introduction was great. It also really made me want to watch Infinity War really, really badly, because, like, Loki, and it shows a scene where Loki dies, and it just pulls on the heartstrings. Mobius introduced here, an amazing character Mobius is, just hands down. So overall, Loki season premiere was just a hands down great episode. I really enjoyed a lot of things about this. And obviously, it's not as great as the next 2, but it's pretty good. It got me intrigued to see what the rest of the show holds. Number 2, episode 6, the season finale. This episode was just great. Again, it was kind of like episode 2, where it took me like 20 minutes to get into it. But again, like episode 2, when I got into it, I was really enjoying myself. This was a really fun episode. The cliffhanger at the end, setting up season 2, hands down, amazing. I loved the cliffhanger. Like, normally, I would be like, oh, come on, we have to wait. But no, I love the cliffhanger. Even though I'm not necessarily so sure what they're going to do with a season 2, I cannot wait for season 2. The whole talking between Loki and Sylvie with the timekeeper, that stuff was great. Just a lot of things were great. It did leave some gaps, which obviously will be filled in season 2. And, like, Loki and Sylvie full on they kiss and do all that stuff, and I'm not necessarily a fan of that. But the way it set up season 2, the way that it got everyone hyped up, it's just totally worth it. It raises a few more questions, and just like my favorite episode of the bunch, it's my favorite, like, it does my favorite thing and intrigues me to see what will go on in the next one. But easily in first place is episode 4, the episode that really got me intrigued into the show. So, hands down, best episode. We get, like, a lot of the mystery. We learn that the timekeepers are robots. We learn that they're all bad. Mobius gets destroyed, and then we learn that they're all still alive when they get pruned. It just raises a lot of questions where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I need to see what's next. Even though episode 5 didn't really, it kind of disappointed me. I was really excited to see what would happen next, because, like, it had a lot of questions. A lot of things were great. This is really when Loki and Sylvie started getting romantic, which is my big problem. I was like, Sweet Home Alabama. But, like, I really liked this episode. I really liked the action. I really liked the direction it was going. And it's where it's set up like, okay, this is totally bigger scale. I need to know what happened into the MCU. So overall, yeah, I'm very excited for Loki Season 2. that was my ranking of all 6 episodes. If Season 2 has another 6 episodes, stay tuned for after I watch Loki Season 2, whenever it comes out, for my, my 12 episode ranking. But that will be a while in the future. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, comment down below. This is my last video for a week. So subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell. Really excited. But when I come back, I'm going to rank Phase 4 of the MCU. And then I'm also going to rank the MonsterVerse. So stay tuned for all those videos. I also reviewed Space Jam: A New Legacy yesterday. You can go ahead and go check out that review. As always, I'm not uploading anything this week, so subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell. Stay tuned for next week's videos, and then, as always, subscribe to join the Nerd Army.